Welcome everybody to Learn with Jason. Let's get started. So you are going to be able to find Alex on Twitter if you want to check that out there. I'm going to also send over a link to the Angular Signal forms that you can find. So let me throw both of those up on the screen for just a hot second so that you can find those. And while I'm showing these links, Alex, do you want to talk a little bit about what my first steps are going to be to get building here?
Yeah, I guess the first thing would be to start up an Angular project if you have the Angular CLI installed and updated.
Let's see if I do. I have, let's see, here's Warp. Let me jump out here to the right spot, and then it's just NG, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I don't have
Angular
it. So.
Yep. Your AI there has it right, I think.
All right. Warp has been great for this. They, I don't use a ton of AI, but God, do I love intelligent autocomplete. Like it's such a dream of a tool. All right. So this gives us NG version. We are at 21.0.3. Perfect. And I'm going to create a new project by running.
Yeah. NG new.
And then do I need to name the project or?
Probably not async react. Yeah, we can call it
signal forms.
Sure.
Okay. And do I want to enable auto completion? I think probably. Yeah, we're just going to let that happen.
Yeah.
Share pseudonymous data with the Angular team. You know what? Yes, you can have some data. Do you have any strong opinions about this?
Not really. I am not the person who wants talking about CSS. We can go ahead and say no to SSR, no to routing.
Okay.
We can have a kind of a very simple homepage. We're not really going to get much into applications.
Okay. Are we going to use any of the, do you want to have any of the AI tools available or should we skip them?
Entirely up to you.
Let's skip them and we're going to learn this. We're going to learn this longhand and then people can install the agents to get help with them later on. So we are creating our project here and I'm going to move into it. It was called Signal Forms. Open this one up.
And okay, so one kind of, go ahead.
Just kind of looking at the project here. Let me make this a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on and then maximize the screen. Okay.
Perfect.
Don't want that. Update later. Great.
If you can open the package JSON, I assume you get a lot of package JSON jokes.
Not as many as you might expect.
Yeah. So actually in the terminal, try NG version. I just want to make sure we're on 21.03 because there's actually a bug with Signal Forms in 21.04.
Installed version is 21.03 on everything here.
CLI, yeah.
Core. So you want me to just stick it to 21.03?
Yes. Yeah, and you can do that in the package JSON, I guess, just by getting rid of the specific constraint there.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick them all to 21.0.3.
Yep.
And then we will npm install all that. What do you
probably need to delete the package lock?
Okay, yeah. Remove the package lock. npm install. What are you mad about? Angular core. What am I missing?
Always fun live coding, right? That looks right to me.
I see what I did. Just gonna try that one more time. Let's npm install. What are you mad about? The peer 21.03 says it wants 21.03. I'm just gonna legacy peer depth it, I think, because
force it or something.
Legacy peer depths.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be okay with whatever it is that I'm sure it was something simple, but that's not really what we're here to figure out today. So then if I go NG version, we're at 21.03 across the board.
Perfect.
And just real quickly, do you want to say why we did that, just so everybody knows?
Yeah, yesterday we published 21.04, and there's actually a Signal Forms bug. It is experimental after all. So we need to just make sure we're on 21.03 so that we don't run into those things.
And by 2105, it won't matter anymore. So if you're watching this more than a few days in the future, everything's fine.
Possibly this afternoon, yeah.
So even a few hours from now.
Yeah.
So we're installed. We're at Angular 2103. If you are at 2105 or beyond, then carry on. Now I'm ready to rock. So what's the first thing we want to do here?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is we want to find let's actually start the dev server and make sure this application comes up. So we can just run ng-serve in the background.
ng-serve, got it. And share anonymous usage. Yes, you can have it. Okay. 4200. Copy that, take it over here.
Yeah, so that should be our basic application. Perfect.
Here we go. And this is the project name I picked. We didn't like install a specific Signal Forms library or anything. This is stock Angular.
Yeah.
I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger so everybody can see what we're doing. Okay.
So let's go ahead and scaffold out the initial kind of page that we want to look at. So we should have a app.ts here, and I think we have a app routes. Do we have any routes in this application? I'm actually not sure. I don't know that we do
have. I don't think we do.
Okay, we can just then probably delete the router outlet here.
Here's app.routes is just
empty. No routes. Okay. Yeah. So we can go ahead and then in the app.ts just kind of remove the router outlet and clear out the app HTML. And that way we're starting from kind of fresh canvas here.
Okay, so I'm going to clear out
all that boilerplate logo, and I would just say empty this file.
Empty it entirely. You got it.
Yep. Start from scratch. Awesome. And so we can. Do we need?
Is there anything special about this, or do we? I don't know. Actually.
Yeah, this should be the component template. So this is just what's inside the body.
Oh, I understand. Yeah. Okay, great. So this is exactly what we need. Then I am leaving this completely empty until you tell me what to do.
So let's just build out a basic scaffold for a character sheet. So we probably want, let's do two things to start with. We'll have our character name and our maybe a drop-down selector for class.
Okay. And do we want this to be in a form or
are we starting
in a form? Okay. So we'll have our character name. We're going to do a select, and then inside of it, we're going to do an option, and we'll do rogue. And those are the only two that I can remember off the top of my head. So we'll start there.
Perfect. So character name, we probably want an input element.
I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see, input type. Now I understand what we're doing. So input type text, and we're going to leave that.
And commonly
I'm going to change these to a form.
Sure.
We want to label this.
Yeah, label.
And then let's make it accessible.
Yeah. Actually, we can save that for later because there's a way to do that with Signal Forms too.
Great. Then let me ignore this, and we're gonna start by doing it fast, and then we'll come back and do it right. So so the input type of text, the select, and we got errors because we're not this isn't all being done properly. But let me just double check. So this is showing up the way we wanted it to, right? It's not correct yet. We need to fix some things. But this
maybe a label for class.
Okay, so we've got our character name, we've got our class, and then I'm going to I can just throw styles in like this, right? I don't have to do anything special. Okay, so what I'm going to do for just basic readability is I'm going to set our form to be display flex. I'm going to set it to have a flex direction column. I'm going to give it a gap of, we'll say 20 pixels. And what that'll do is just make it so that we can vertically read it. Let's go 10, so it's not quite so extreme. So that'll be fine. And then maybe what I'll also do just to make this a little easier to read is go max inline size of 400 pixels. Now it's basically like a little form, right? So not pretty, but it's going to at least be legible.
Yeah, that works. So now let's go ahead and get this kind of wired up to the form system itself.
Okay.
So we'll go over to the app.ts.
Here.
Yeah, and I like to start by kind of defining, I usually start by writing types, and I find that to be the most effective way of like figuring out what I need to write next, basically. How do I get the type checker to be happy?
Okay. And is it just kind of a standard thing, or?
I would say let's create an interface for our character. And our character is going to have a name and class, and both of those are probably strings.
We could, we could make that an enum because it is a finite set of things that you can have as a class, but we're not going to find all those today.
Yeah, potentially. So now what we're going to do is create our form model. And our form model is a signal that's going to hold all of the current set of values of the form, the current value of the character, which is an object that has those properties in it. And so we can create that as a property inside of our app class here, kind of replacing title maybe with just read-only, character equals, and this is going to be an object of that type of character.
Got it. And do I do that with one of these?
That works great, yeah.
Okay.
And so we'll have to satisfy TypeScript here with a name and a class. Both of those I would suggest starting as, empty string. So when you're creating the model for a signal forms is very model driven. So all of the validation and everything happens against kind of the state of the form in the signal, not against what's happening in the UI. So actually you can create a signal form, set values to it, write tests that are kind of asserting your validation and everything is working completely independently of any UI controls for that form. So you almost don't even need to create, instantiate any HTML to check that your business logic is working correctly. So the second thing we're going to do here is then create the actual form around this model. So we can say like read only, and let's call it like maybe character form. And we're going to call the form function from Angular Signal Forms and pass in this dot character. Okay.
And did this auto imported from forms/signals? Is that correct?
Import is great. Yeah, absolutely. So fantastic. So what this is going to do is take the model, your data model, which is a writable signal. So you can read it, you can set the signal to a new value, and you're giving forms permission to read and write from this model. And it's going to create a whole parallel world for you that's the same structure of this object, the character object, but that has the state of the form instead of the state of the values. So we can explore that a little bit if you just like open the, make a function in here called test or something.
Do you just do it like this in here? Yeah. I forget how classes work. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. And then this dot character form, and if you explore in the autocomplete, you'll see that we have properties name and property class. Yeah. So you can look at class, for example. And that is what Signal Forms call a field tree. So essentially it's we're using a proxy to kind of give you an object that's the same shape of your model, but that has fields inside of it instead of raw values. And so if you call this function dot class, right? Remember Angular uses like function calls to signify like signal read. Right. Now what you get back if you dot that in autocomplete, you'll see all the form states. So now we have dirty, disabled, invalid, valid, value, and a bunch of other things. And so this is Signal Forms deriving for you all the state of a form that might be useful to display in the UI whether you should consider this control disabled, whether the control should be hidden, is it valid or invalid or pending, async validation or something like that.
Right. Okay, so I'm with it. This is cool.
Cool. So let's go ahead and inside our app HTML, let's start connecting those controls to the form itself.
Okay.
So on our input type equals text here, we have a directive that you put on this element. Directive is kind of an applied behavior to an HTML element from Angular. And the directive is called field. So we'll actually do it as a binding. So, Angular uses square brackets for bindings. So square bracket field. And depending on, I don't know if you have the language service set up, but it might auto import this thing for you.
Oh, yeah. Actually, let's do that because I think that's going to be.
Yeah, Angular language service.
I just saw it there, and I do have it installed. Okay, great.
It's working. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So then, for me to wait, what am I after? It was. I think it was trying to do something, and I didn't let it. So let me just start over. I'm going to go. Field.
Yep.
And then
equals.
Did that field equals, and then do I call it just?
This one is character form.name, right? Is the field that we want to bind to.
Okay. And it did autocomplete that for me, which is great.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to import anything in the component?
Let's look. So let's go look in the app HTML.
So nothing has happened here in the app TS.
It looks like it did for us. So it imported the field directive into the component.
Oh, nice. Perfect. Okay, I see what happened. So it's smart enough to know that I'm in this. This is one of the things about Angular that I'm still not used to is because things kind of happen in a couple places. I would expect my auto import to be here, but it needs to be in the .ts because right. I understand.
Yeah. So it actually, like, people have different preferences. I tend to write component templates inline, where they all are actually in the same file. But I know there are people who swear by having the template as a separate thing.
Yeah, and there's a conversation happening in the comments about like you can move the template inside.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're like really comfortable with something like Astro or React, where all the logic and the templating would happen in the same file, then this could be a way to sort of make it feel comfortable compared to what you're used to. But this is fine, I think. So now that we've bound this, what does that mean? Like, what's happening here?
So let's actually show it on screen because I think that's easier. So after the form, you can add a pre-tag.
You want me to just stringify the character?
We're going to output some JSON. So two curly braces for Angular. And we can actually use the JSON pipe instead of JSON stringify.
Wait, how does that work?
So we would do, let's just do character, the signal, right? Function call. So we read the signal. And if you use the pipe character, vertical bar to JSON.
To JSON or JSON?
That's exactly right. And you'll just probably have to autocomplete import that.
See, you're not happy about something and you're not happy about it because to fix this, JSON pipe.
So it knows what you want to import, but it's not.
It knows what I want, but it didn't do it. Fine.
Yeah, we can do it manually. So
and that came out of which piece?
Angular common is going to be the JSON pipe.
Okay, maybe if I just put it here, it's going to let me.
Yeah, if you try to autocomplete that, it probably will.
Do the thing. What are you doing? There
you go. Yeah.
Okay. And then you're not sad anymore except about my invalid forms. But what we should see then is down here we've got our everything's dumped. I'm just going to fix this formatting because that's going to drive me up a wall.
Yeah.
There we go. And now as I add something in here, it's up. Yeah. Okay. All right. So just by adding that field, we're getting an immediate reactive form.
Yeah. So now when we've connected that field to the model, so when we type in there, our model starts updating. and stays in sync with the text blocks. And that's bidirectional, right? So if we were to go into the character and set the value programmatically to something, like you got a push notification from the server, or you had a button that was like randomly generate character name, the form would update, the input would update in reaction to that.
Got it. Very cool. Okay.
Cool. Let's go a little bit deeper and add some validation to this character name.
Okay.
So if we go back to our app, so the other thing we can do in character form here is pass a schema function to the form itself as the second argument. And the schema function is a function that takes one argument, which we'll call path here.
Does it need to be like a specific type of function, or is one of these fine?
Nope, this is just fine.
Okay.
And so what we can do inside of the schema function, this is an argument to create the form, right? And we're telling the form what logic we want it to have, what all of the business logic and validation and everything that gets defined on the fields. And what the form will do is when it instantiates for the model that you have, it will create a bunch of computed signals under the hood that's doing all of the validation with the right set of dependencies, so that when the user's typing in the character name, you're validating the character name and so forth. So it's kind of a DSL type structure. And one of the functions we can use here is called required. So if you type required and import that, you can say path.name.
Okay.
And path here is an object that's kind of letting us talk about a field before it exists. So we haven't created the form yet. We don't have the field yet for the character name, but we're saying, hey, at the field that's at this path, we want it to be required. And so now let's, we can save that file. And let's list the errors in the HTML.
Okay. And
so
to
in a
do
real
that,
in a real form,
something I assume.
We'll leave that there. And kind of before that line, we can create a list of errors.
Okay.
So in a real form, you would probably want to put the errors for every field separately. But I think it's easier if we just do this for all the errors in the form at the bottom, so we can just see what's going on. So we want to use a for loop in Angular, which is the at for. Yeah.
Wait, I'm doing this wrong.
Yeah, no angle bracket.
Double bracketed?
Nope.
Oh, you can just get away with this. Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And at for is going to be, let's say, error of, in parentheses. Yeah. Error of character form. And we want to read a value called the error summary. ERR. Yeah. Oh, we have to, function call for character form.
Oh, right.
Read the signal. Yeah. Error. I do that a lot too. Error summary. That's also a signal. So we read that. And then like with
something that I'm doing and I don't know why.
It probably wants the brackets at the end of this. That is, we're going to need a track expression in here too. So after error summary function call, semicolon, and then semicolon.
Semicolon. God, what am I doing?
Yeah. And then track error, basically. Track space error. So this is like a key in React, right? When you're saying, hey, for this iteration that I'm doing for every item in the loop that we're creating, what's its identity, so we're not recreating the DOM nodes every time something changes.
I understand. So we're basically saying for this error that gets created, and then use the error that's being read as like the thing that makes it unique. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And
so
then
here,
I can do something like
error.message should be fine. Yeah. And then
is that right?
Error.message can be undefined, so we can do a like nullish or like unknown error or something in a string. Yeah, that looks good.
Let's see what it did. We got an unknown error.
Okay.
And it goes away. Great.
Yeah. So we probably want to give you something better as a user to look at than unknown error. So we can go back to our schema here And as an option to required, we can pass an object with options as the second argument. And we can say message. And message is like, you have to provide a character name. Yeah, name is required.
Something like that. And now it says name is required.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. What if we want to make sure that it's like at least one character? Well, I guess it's already empty is throwing the error. So yeah, okay, that's fine.
We may want a max length, right? Like not let someone enter a 200 character name.
Sure.
So there is max length as a validator that you can import from Signal Forms. Kind of pattern here, right? Like pretty much all of the options that are available for an input element are validators that you can add.
Okay, and then just to
200 might even be generous, right? Like
I'm gonna make it 2 so that it throws the error right away, and then we'll say message is going to be maximum.
Character name is too long. Yeah,
name length is 200 characters, and I know that's not actually true, but we're gonna get it to throw our error for us.
You probably won't.
Oh, because
Signal Forms knows, right, that you've set a max length validator specifically. So in addition to validation, it's also telling the input element you should have the max length attribute.
That's slick. Okay, that's amazing. So then, we can set it up. I mean, 200 is wild, but like also we don't want somebody who's got a legitimately long name to feel like they can't play the game. So
cool.
Really long names are in fact allowed, but we don't want to blow out our database by somebody inserting the entirety of now I'm trying to think of a long novel and I can't come up with a name. My joke is ruined.
Yeah.
Fine.
I watch a YouTuber named Let's Game It Out. And he like loves to break the logic in video games. And one of them was he discovered there was like you could name something and the name input was unvalidated, and so he entered this like entire treatise as the name of a train station or something, and it just renders off the screen. It's like hilarious.
Okay, so this is good though. So we've got this thing. It's going. You have to have at least one character, which I think is fair, and you can't go more than 200, which I think is fair. We're in business.
Yeah. So let's hook up our class there as well. And we probably want to include an option that is nothing selected, right? So the select element isn't showing you the first option as a false indication.
Gotcha. So we can do that. So we're going to do option. I think this is how you do it.
That looks right. Yeah, and we want to add values for the other two.
I get that. Wait, we want this one to start selected. Yeah. And then you can't select it again. That's what we want. Okay. Yeah. And then we'll give each of these a value. And then I assume, do we want to pull these out of?
That looks fine to me.
Okay, so we haven't hooked this one up yet, and the way we're going to do that is same as before.
Same as before.
Ta-da!
Yep. Now our select is working, and we can
something. Why did it do that?
Is that the like auto refresh?
Well, now that it's hooked up, it's not showing that disabled field, and I wonder if that's like I guess it does. It's not the end of the world.
We might need to add value equals empty string to it.
Oh,
the Signal Forms now.
Okay,
there you go. Perfect. So let's add our validation, right? So that we know that like unselected class.
Path class.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have validation. We get our errors.
Yeah. Okay. And our form is valid, right? We have all the errors are gone. Perfect.
Slick.
So I think next step would be to add some agilities or some scores, right?
Sure.
Strength, dexterity, like those. There's a set of them, 6 of them, but we can just have a couple.
And do we want these to be like grouped as like attributes as an object, or?
Sure, attributes, yeah.
So we got our attributes, and those are going to be, we'll say strength, and that's going to be a number.
Perfect.
I always forget. You know what? I'm going to do these.
I think is the
that's what it is.
Fine.
Dex.
Yeah.
Number and
let's go intelligence, right? Int.
Cool. So those are 3. That's fine. That's enough to prove the point. So we've got our attributes, and then our attributes themselves, I assume, are going to have like min max. We can't go below 0, and we can't go above. Is it like 20 is the max on a character?
Yeah.
So is there a max on a character actually?
I think it is. I think it's 20 or 30.
Do I want min? Like min is correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Path attributes. Can we set for multiples at once? Like, can we say for all of these set the min and max?
We can. We're going
yes.
to. Yeah. The way we're going to do that is to define a schema.
Okay.
So if you scroll up here, we can just even do this outside of the class itself.
Okay.
So I would say, const maybe attribute schema equals schema from signal forms. And this will take a generic parameter that's the type of the field that we're applying it to. In this case, it'll be a number.
The type of the field.
The schema function itself is generic.
Got it.
So
something like that.
Something like that. So on schema, give it the angle brackets of number.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. Yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
Yep.
Okay.
So number is now
a attribute.
Yep. And we can say min of attribute should be 0.
And max of attribute. Oops, that's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's not the one we want. We want the max from Angular signals, and that's going to be attribute, and we'll say 20.
Seems good.
Okay. How do I apply this?
There's a function called apply.
Perfect. So down here, then, I would say, is this right? Apply?
Yep.
Attribute schema. It's unhappy because...
Apply to what?
Apply it to the path.
Yeah.
This
is fun for me because I'm trying to... I'm seeing if the APIs are intuitive for you.
Do I need to
apply it? We want to apply it to a specific... This right now, you're seeing a type error that you've given it a path to a character, and the schema works only on numbers. Path that attributes dot strength.
Do I have to do it for each? Oh, I can't say like all of the ones in here. It's got to be.
Yeah, you could write an object keys or something.
Sure.
For
this is loop, absolutely acceptable, I think.
Yeah.
So we've got so now each of these has a min max, and then when I come out here, we can do something like input type number.
Say range.
Think. Oh yeah, range. Let's do a range.
Range, yeah.
And then we're going to hook it up to the field, and that field is going to be character form dot attributes dot strength to start.
There we go.
And then we'll label that, and that's going to be strength. And let's just duplicate this. Strength, dexterity. That's going to be our dex. And then we're going to have intelligence.
Someone in chat asks, what value will be rendered in the input if a long name is set in the character signal initially? So I think the HTML input will show you the full value, even if it's beyond the max length constraint. But in that case, you would get the validation error.
What have I done wrong? Argument. Oh, because we didn't update our default.
we need to actually create those values, initial values.
Okay, so that's unhappy because we need our attributes. Those need to be strength. We'll set to 0, dex set to 0, and int set to 0. And now we have each of our things. And the range actually knows what our max is, so we can't go beyond it, which is awesome. Now, if I go in and manually set this, like if I try to hack this, is it going to create an error?
I think it will create a validation error.
Let's try. Let's see if I can break it.
Yeah, go for it.
There's no value even set on it.
You won't see an attribute in HTML for the value.
Oh, so it makes it also something interesting is this removes my ability as an amateur hacker to like mess with the form and try to change values to like, oh, I'm going to disable I'm going to turn off the disabled attribute so I can submit this form even though it says I can't or whatever it is.
You can always hack it from JavaScript, I think. So if you grab the reference to the input element, you can start telling it to do whatever you like. But
yeah, but it makes it harder. And then if we did set it to be like 21, we should get an error down here that says like it's out of range.
Yeah, and you have the same on the min
because we haven't declared it.
On min and max, you can write write a message too if you'd like. So yeah. So let's do someone wants to know the something to link the labels to the fields for accessibility. Yeah, let's do that.
Yes. That was actually going to be my next question. Yeah. Because then we'll get rid of our red angries, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know if your HTML validator here will understand the red angry.
We'll see. It says they need to have labels, and since we haven't connected them, but if Angular's handling this and it's not working, then we'll just turn off that validator for now.
Yeah. So you can bind the for attribute of label, right? Binding is that square bracket. That's what Angular calls a property binding.
And is it HTML4?
I think just for should work, but we can try HTML4 later if it doesn't. And this will be character form .name function call.
Function call.
We're jumping to the state, right? The form state with that function call, and then this is the downside of naming it name is actually there's a .name here. Signal Forms is creating a name and automatically setting that as the name of the input, and so if you function call that here too, it's a signal, so we read it. Then that'll connect the two.
Duplicate this for the class.
Yeah, that looks right.
And then we'll duplicate this for, this will be interesting. So once we get into the attributes, is it a function call dot?
Nope, just .str.
Okay. And then we'll grab this one out and we'll change this to text. We'll throw this one in and we'll say intelligence. Okay. Yeah. And now these are still unhappy, but what I'm going to do is we're going to disable the axe form hint so that it stops yelling because we are in fact adding a label and we should be able to prove that here. Well, actually, we can prove that by clicking on it.
Theoretically.
None of these are clickable because they're not checkboxes. But if I look up here, we can see that the for is in fact showing up. This is super tiny. But you can see that the for is showing up for ng.form0.name, and this one is called ng.form0.name. And so what? I don't know what that is. Doesn't it need to be an ID as well down here?
The browsers will for the label for, they will go to either ID or name.
Okay.
But,
okay. Cool.
Yeah, there might be something strange internally here where this isn't working as well as it should.
But so we've got it bound, right? It's doing what we want. Happy about that. We've got our fields are bound. Our validation is working. What else do you want to look at here?
So how much time do we have left? Actually,
we got about probably 25 tops.
Excellent. Okay. So I think first of all, let's do some interesting conditional validation because I think that is actually rather useful.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, like if you are what were our two classes, Rogue and Wizard?
Rogue and Wizard.
Let's say if you're a wizard, first of all, if you're a rogue, if you're a wizard, you have to have intelligence greater than 10, let's say.
Okay. And so yeah, we could do if you're because the way that this, if I remember correctly, when you're doing a character class, like when you choose your class, you kind of get like base stats, and then you get a few stats to apply yourself. So you would get like you get five stat points to apply, but the wizard will have high intelligence and low strength, whereas like a barbarian class would have high strength and low intelligence. And then you could say like, well, I want to be a smart barbarian, so I'm also going to put all of my 5 points into intelligence, et cetera, et cetera.
So let's structure it this way. Actually, let's say you can have a maximum of 30 attribute points.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start writing some notes here. So, oops, that wasn't what I meant to do. So we're gonna zoom back out one, and then I'm gonna say, we'll just do a little comment here. So, max of 30 attribute points.
Yeah.
And then wizard min 10 intelligence.
Yeah.
And
then maybe
like
rogue min 10 dexterity, min 12 dexterity or something like.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do we want to, anything else you want to put in? I think that's probably pretty good, right? Because then we've got a conditional, plus we get to derive some state on like how many points are left.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Okay.
So let's do then the max of 30 attribute points, right? Because that's an interesting case where we aren't just looking at the value inside of one control to do validation. We want to validate against the whole set of attributes.
Okay. So to do that, I am in my validation here. And so
yeah, this will be a custom validator.
Max 30 attribute points total.
Yeah.
Custom validator.
Yeah. So we're going to call, as opposed to the built-ins like required and min and max and so forth, validate.
Okay.
Right.
Path. Ooh, now we've got a multiple thingy.
Yeah. So we can probably validate the whole attributes object. That's the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
And here we're going to pass in our validator function, which is just going to take a context parameter.
Context.
So you can call it, context.
Okay.
And if you look at context here, it will give us the value of the field, the state of the field, as well as some accessors to get values of other fields.
Okay.
So in this case, we can call the value signal on context. Context.value, and that will be the value of our attributes.
Okay, so now that's going to give us it's going to give us our object.
Yeah.
Which now we can write our logic 3 inside of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then to do that, we would want kind of we could do a let 0, and then we could say for attribute of, can I do this off of memory? Let attribute of attributes. I should have done this better. Naming is hard. That's not going to work.
Yeah. Object.values would work here, or I think you can do let a in to get the keys. Either way.
Okay. So then we can say, so we've got our total count, and then we can say total plus equals attribute key.
Yeah.
And do I call it?
Nope, that's just a value.
That's just a value.
That's the value from your model object, right? TypeScript
explicitly
is happy with for in loops usually. You can say as key of the key inside. I think the magic incantation is as key of type of adder.
I love it. I love TypeScript magic spells.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what this will let us do is this is going to give us the total, and then I want to say like
if the total is greater than 30, right?
Is greater than 30.
Yeah. Then we want to return an error object to you.
And the error object is, is it a class? Do we have to call a new one?
It's an object that has a kind property and potentially a message property. So kind will just be like a programmatic distinction of the error. It's a string. In this case, you can just say attribute error, sure. And then a message is the human-friendly option.
Okay. Only 30 total attribute points allowed.
Yeah. And you should be working just
fine. And then do I just return nothing, or do I just ignore it otherwise?
Returning void is fine for the case where it's...
So then is this not all code pass return a value? Does that matter?
Return undefined, maybe, to satisfy the linter. I think TypeScript is fine with it, but
yeah, fine. Okay. So then out here, set this to
11,
10, 10. This is going to take us over.
Yeah,
there it is. Hey, look at that. Now, can we? I know that we could like write custom code to do this, but is there some magic validator way to say like, hey, can you limit the total? Like, don't let me go over. Or is it where that kind of gets into manual land?
That gets a little bit into manual land. What we could do is make the like min and max on these things, or really the max of the sliders, dynamic, right?
We could derive it from what's left after. Okay.
Yeah, we could derive it and tell you, but that creates some interesting UX challenges, I think. Because then as you're moving one slider, kind of all of the values of the other sliders are kind of adjusting dynamically. So very possible, but tricky to get that right from a UX standpoint.
There's a question about apply each. When we're in here, would apply each let us hit everything in the attributes?
If we put them in an array, it would.
Got it. Okay, but not in an object. Yeah. So my construction isn't letting us do the way that we would want that to work. But okay, so this is cool. So and I actually think this is completely acceptable, because this is a very custom use case, and I would want very specific controls over like how and why this would work. Because the other thing that this would do if we derived the max is it would mean that like this looks full, and we know this to be 20. So like our mental reference is 20. But if as we drag this up, this wouldn't move, it would just become a lower number, and that's bad. So we would need a better. We need to think through that. That would be like a conscious design.
So I'll tell you what, that's actually a really interesting problem to solve. So let's do that.
Okay.
Let's create our own control for entering these scores.
Okay.
So let's make a new component in a new file in here.
New component, new file. Going in here. And this is going to be like an attributes or something.
Attribute control, let's say, or attribute
control.
Yeah.
.ts.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
And this will be, we'll need a class with that component on it that's exported. We'll do this Inia suggests we'll do an inline template.
That component from core. Maybe I can just copy some of this so that we don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we're going to call this attribute control.
Yeah.
Do we need...
We shouldn't need any of that. We actually shouldn't really need anything in imports.
Okay.
So
like leave
selector,
it empty or selector.
We'll give it a selector so we can use it from the other template. Attribute -control is fine. And let's do a template that's a backtick string. And this will be where we put our template logic.
Okay.
And so let's do this as... well, first of all, we need our value, right? So we'll take this in as a Angular model signal.
Okay.
So in the class, you say value equals model, and pass 0 as the initial value if nothing is provided. And so this creates both an input and an output. It's a two-way bindable property of this control that we can pass from the outside. And so in here, we want to do, in the template, we want to do two things. We want to show you the current value. So we can just do a text binding with value signal read.
Okay, and so we'll just do something like this.
Yeah, I was envisioning like a number with a plus minus button on each side. Right?
Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay,
control.
So we will, we'll make it real simple. Yeah. We'll get in here and where there's going to be a plus minus. So we can do like a button that has a minus.
Yep.
And we'll have the value itself, which I'm going to put into a span just so that we can target it if we need to. And that's going to be the value like so.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then we'll have another button with a plus.
Yep.
Come on, bud. There we go.
Yeah. And so I like to make a function called like increment or step or something, but that takes the delta as an argument. Delta is number. So we can type delta as number to, make TypeScript.
To please the TypeScript gods, yeah.
Yeah, and then in here you would do this.value.update. And we pass a function that like gets the current value and returns the next one. So, v maps to v plus delta. The value maps to,
v plus delta.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, we would do the same for a decrement.
We can actually just use this as our, we can pass negative delta, right, to decrement.
So, sure. Yeah, fair. Okay.
Yeah. So I sometimes call it step just to like.
Yeah, the increment was going to bother me if we didn't do that. So that's,
Yeah. And so we can add our event listeners to the button here.
Okay, and is that like a click?
Yeah, Angular uses parentheses for events.
There it is.
Kind of our own little language here. And this is just going to be step of -1.
That's step -1.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this one is going to go down here and be step 1.
Step 1. Okay.
Okay.
So we can save this, and let's go back over to our app, or actually really our HTML. Yeah.
Okay.
And one of these input type ranges we can do an attribute control for. Yeah.
Okay. And then to do this, let's see. We'll figure this out later. We're gonna start by just getting it on the screen.
Should have imported it, and just put your field directive on there.
And it did. So I'm going to take my field directive right out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to drop it right here.
Yeah.
And that's going to fill the value for me.
Let's see if that worked. Yeah.
It sure did.
Yeah. So now we can actually violate our range conditions if we...
yeah, we can. Let's do it.
Yeah. So if you go beyond the max, right, then
there it is. We get it on error.
It's like
there it is.
Now set the model beyond what even the range control can understand.
Right. Okay.
And notice these are linked, right? We have the same field talking to two different UI controls. So we probably want to make that min and max work.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we go into our attribute control there, now we can say, in addition to the value, we want to take an input that is min and an input that is max.
Okay. And that min is also a model?
Input, just plain input.
Input.
Model means we can produce a new value for the outside world to look at, whereas min and max are just pure props, right? They're just data we want. And perfect. So
by default, this is going to fail.
Yeah. We need one more. Yeah, we need one more thing here, unfortunately.
Okay.
Which is min is input of generic type number or undefined. Yeah.
Same with max.
And that's because like a form doesn't have to give us a minimum value, right?
Mm-hmm. Do we want to require the max?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so we'll just kind of leave that as is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we can put a disabled binding on our buttons, right? To kind of turn them off and not let you go beyond the min or max.
And to do that, we say
disabled.
Oh, buddy. Disabled. And that's going to be
if our
where is it? Value is less than min or value is greater than max. Right?
We still want to let you decrement it, I think, if the value is greater than max, right? If you're above the max, you can still
true. I guess I guess that would be
And these are signals, so we have to function call them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Less than min.
Now what do you mean?
Min is potentially undefined, so you can use the question 0. And that might need parens.
There we go. Okay. So then we'll copy this.
I do think we want less than or equal to.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
If it's at the min, we don't want to let you go lower, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That looks right.
Okay. So now what we should see is this one is disabled. It's now re-enabled. If I keep going, the max has been set
out. Yeah.
Oh, and that's nice that it just worked too. Like I didn't have to change anything. Okay. So that's slick.
Yeah. Excellent. So now we can go back to our, let's go back to our schema.
Back to our schema.
App. Yeah. And just in the interest of time, let's go down to the, where we're applying the schema to strength. There. And instead of this apply, let's just do a, add a new line here for min.
This?
New line for max, right? What we want to do is say, oh, you can't keep incrementing strength if you already have maximum of 30 points, right?
Okay, you're gonna have to walk me through that a little bit more. So the add the max like as a separate thing here.
Yeah, we're going to apply a new maximum to strength, right? To say, hey, 20 is a max, and if you only have 3 more points that you can allocate, right, then we're not going to let you go beyond the limit there.
Okay.
So here we're going to pass our we're going to notice in addition to passing just a pure value for max, we can pass this thing called a logic function. And so we can pass a function that takes context. This is kind of the same thing as a validator, really, except we're computing the maximum dynamically.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we want to do here is we need to get the sum again. So you can actually copy paste that code just to computes total, right? Up to the line 81. And in this case, we need to get we're inside of the strength attribute, but we want the value of all of the attributes, not just strength.
Right.
So you can say context value of and path dots attributes. Yeah. So get the value of all the attributes, sum them up. So now we know our total. And we can compute kind of 30 minus the total, right, is how many remaining we have.
Okay. So we want remaining equals 30. This should be a variable minus total.
Total. Right. And now we don't want to let you add more than that many points to your current max. So we want to return the new maximum is your current value plus the remaining, I would say. Right. So if you have 3 more points remaining and your strength is 10, we don't want to let you go beyond 13.
Right. So so const new max equals remaining plus, and that's going to be context dot value.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And you can just return that.
2 types, number and string or number. Are you mad because you think you are?
Context value should be a number here.
Remaining context.value should be a number, and the reason you think you're not a number is what?
Oh, it might just be that like we have to finish setting up this function. So just return new max. Now that's very strange. Object is
possibly null. Do we set these to be?
That is bizarre.
Can we just force it to
cast it? It's fine.
Oh, what? What are you?
Maybe parentheses around the context.value. Yeah, that's a new one for me.
Goof. So then, theoretically speaking, we take this up here and this up here. That's 16, and so we should see this cap out at 4, right? No, we shouldn't. We should see. Got to take these up higher. Let's take these up to 14.
Oh yeah, I just saw it.
And 14, and now these are too high. So the max is now 1.
Yeah. So our range has really awkward UX for that, right? But now this
has great UX.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is great. And so the way that we would continue forward, we're short on time, so we probably won't do it here. But the way we would continue forward is we could kind of make this into a more generic thing that we then apply to all of these in the same way that we're applying the attribute schema. We could just kind of like write a new schema for it, maybe.
Yeah, I would probably make a computed for the like total number of attributes, right? And then create a schema that's just applying the validation, reading that computed to decide what the dynamic max should be.
Okay. Do you think we could do that in 4 minutes?
Probably. Well, let's try it.
Let's try it. And because we didn't get into computed, and I feel like that's worth doing.
Yeah. So we'll be inside the class here.
Inside the class.
Yeah. So let's do maybe above the form. Let's say like, total attributes or something.
Okay. And is it read only or anything?
Sure. Read only total attributes equals computed.
Come on.
Computed. And this is a function. And we can copy paste the same logic.
Same logic from here?
Yeah.
Including context like that?
No, just from the const adder equals down to the total.
Okay.
So line 72 to, we can just go to the like return total after that part.
Got it. Okay. And how do we get here? What are we missing?
So we're outside of the form entirely at this point. So we can just read model.attribute or this.character.attributes, character function call.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I'm definitely having to get used to.
Yeah. Signals. Attributes is just an object at this point.
Right. Because we didn't make that a signal. It's an object containing signals.
Character holds the whole, object.
Okay. So this lets us get our total attributes. And then
So
now we have access to this.
Yeah. Now we write in here read only attribute schema. So
I'm going to rename that to I don't know what the normal thing is for this, but do I pull it from
number? Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to copy this schema of number. We get our attribute, and this one is going to be this logic down here, right? But we're going to take
we can grab the from paste that in. That's fine.
Okay, so I've pasted this in. Now we're definitely wrong here because what I want
we need to be inside of a max function, right?
Do I need to be inside of it to get the total attributes, or do I?
I think we missed a layer of the paste, right? Like the thing from schema is adder, the argument to schema function. Just call that attr.
Okay.
And then inside of max, we're applying the max to the attribute.
We're applying the max to the attribute.
And here's where we get our
context. That gets the context.
Yeah. So now that stuff is the body of the max computation.
Okay. And so then I need to get rid of you. This is going to have to get a different name.
That all of that actually goes away. 67 to 72.
All of this goes away.
Yeah, that's our computed now. So instead of total, we can just do this dot total attributes or whatever it was called.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then did I get this right? I'm missing you.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
It's great. We still want to have 20 as the like upper limit of max, right?
Yes.
So we can do that in one of two ways. Either line 71, we can do a math dot, that of 20.
Or I guess we would want a math.min of 20 or
yes.
That. Okay.
I think it is max, right? Because you want.
Well, because wouldn't it, when we get like there's only 4 left, then it would always give us 20 if it was the max.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 20 is the minimum max. That's confusing. Okay.
The minimum max.
Now, now we can go down and change our attribute schema apply to this dot attribute schema.
Okay.
And we don't need that big, long, independent max function anymore.
Drop you out of here. Oops.
And do the others.
Oh, come on. Well. Do one of these. And then we do one of these. And then theoretically speaking, we should be in business here.
Yep. All the maxes are kind of being dynamic now. The ranges are going to behave very weirdly in this scenario.
Ranges are super weird. But then if we, let's see, we're out of time. But what we would be able to do then is swap all these out for attribute controls instead of these ranges, which would then give us each of the things, but we don't have time to label them and all that stuff. But you can kind of see where we're going here, where we've now got all these controls. And as we control one, it messes with the maxes for the others. So this is pretty powerful stuff. And honestly, the hardest part was for me, just remembering the specifics of like the syntax, like that it's square brackets versus parentheses versus, calling it or not calling it. So, really, really powerful, really, and now reading through it, this is all pretty, human readable. So really excellent work from y'all. If somebody wants to learn more about this, I've got this Angular Forms page. Where is there anywhere else that people should go? Anything else they should be looking into?
What I'll do today actually is I have a little stack blitz of like an example character form that I was putting together. I can share that, tweet it out for people to kind of look at and play with.
So head over to x.com, the everything app, and follow Alex there, and you can find that example when it comes out. Alex, other than Twitter, anywhere else that you want people to go to follow you?
I am on Blue Sky as well, under the same label. And I'm active on the Angular community Discord server if people have Angular questions and want to kind of chat about things there.
There you are. Get one of these. We'll throw one of these. All right. So that is where we are. Alex, thank you so much for taking the time. And if anybody wants to go deeper on the how and why of this, remember we do have the Web Dev podcast where Alex talked about all of the reasoning behind why Angular landed on Signal Forms as their preferred approach. This is going to be our last episode of 2025. So thank you all for being here. We will be back in 2026 with more episodes. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share because it honestly just makes me feel nice. So thank you. Thank you, Alex, for being part of this. Any parting words for everybody before we wrap it up?
Thank you so much for having me. This was fantastic. Yeah, please check out Signal Forms if you're an Angular user and want to play with it. We're really desperately looking for feedback because we want to get this out as a stable API as soon as possible. We know people really want it. We know a lot of developers are already using it in production. They're making that choice to accept that risk. So great. And yeah, every bit of feedback helps.
Thank you all so much for being here. Join us next time for more Learn with Jason. Bye.